assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the Restaurant Talent Show 2019, brought to you by Catering Circle. Of course, it's a great pleasure to be here. I'm your host, Nadia Ali, and I'll be with you for the next few hours, where we will be discussing how you can run the best restaurant in the UK, or actually worldwide, whatever it is you want. However, this is the third episode, and we are on season 4. Now, we've had lots going on. I wasn't here on the last episode, but I hear there was a lot going on. It was all about embracing new technologies. So here's a little recap if you missed out.
Welcome to Catering Circle Season 4.
Technology helps their productivity and how it increases their business.
Particularly interested in how they use technology in the kitchen.
How they use technology to marketing.
With the EPOS system, you can do exactly specific what you're using, what you're not using.
We've implemented a few appliances in the kitchen. It cuts down on time, cost.
Everybody likes Wi-Fi, so what do? I've connected my Facebook, so they have to open their Facebook up, and it allows me to basically monitor who's logging in, so automatically capturing data.
So I used to have like 2 people at the front. Now I only have 1, because the one person is able to handle everything, because everything is very efficient, because he's able to take order and then obviously accept the order online as well.
Using the tools on the EPOS system to make your business more self-sufficient and efficient now.
We have stock rotation and stock taking, as well as stock portions.
There are a lot of things available. I think they should look at it.
To explain the how it helps rather than what technology you're using is how it's changed.
Invested heavily on e-commerce dynamic website.
Teenager, 18 years old, loves the social media. So the first thing I did is employed her to get on my Facebook, social, Instagram, Twitter.
All the attention is on those social media.
Google, you can actually do a virtual tour of your shop. That's why it's important to invest heavily on nice, on design.
We're ranked #1 on the Google search when you type in our restaurant name.
But Wi-Fi is everywhere. You cannot put a limit to it.
They are the face of their business. So the appearance matters, unfortunately. The character, how they conduct themselves, all matter.
A lot of restaurants don't like children. Me, your children are #1.
My chef can use the EPOS system now, because I've showed him once, and then he doesn't need to know English. He doesn't actually speak English or know English, but he can see the symbols.
If you do order stock, online ordering is a big thing because you actually get things cheaper.
We use EPOS as well as our Clover machine, so we could send out data.
If you had to name a piece of equipment in the kitchen that's connected, apart from the EPOS machine, you would probably maybe struggle to come up with it. But currently in the market, you'll find dishwashers, you'll find combi ovens.
On your business, when you do invest on right technology, of course, you can get up to 300% return.
Nowadays, YouTube is a good thing. You can see many things what you can do with small gadgets. So you need to know your market. Who is you are marketing to? Is this the young people, or is it the people, older people?
Give a picture of a dish and tell your customer to guess what's the name of the dish, and so you can find a lot of comments, you can find a lot of involvement on your Facebook.
And the results are as follows. We have Shoreditch fish and chips with 80% of the votes, followed by basil spice with 72.
Well done, and a huge congratulations to the winners from the last episode. It's a shame I wasn't here, but I'm sure I'll get to see you at the business conference. Now, just to let you know how it works, Season 4 is all about finding 10 role models or restaurateurs that we think are absolutely amazing, and we take them through and literally crown them for the Restaurant Talent Show 2019. Now, how it's going to be working is every 2 weeks, we'll have a show like this where we bring on up to 8 successful businessmen or businesses to participate in the show. And from here, only 2 will make it through to win a ticket to actually compete at the Business Conference 2020. Now, it's a lot of work, a lot of pressure, and actually there's 2 sets of peoples that I would like to say a huge thank you to, and that is, of course, our panel judges and our special judges, because without them it would not be possible, because they definitely give a lot of guidance, and of course they get to handpick their favourites to the business conference. Now, on my right, I have our panel judges, very esteemed panel judges, and it's great to have them back on and actually be in this seat, and lucky for our participants today, because I'm sure you have a lot to give and a lot to say. Now, first up, we have Mr. Ahmadus Samad Chowdhury, JP. Now, do I even need to say who he is? He's the chairman of Channel Television, chief advisor to the Catering Circle, so it's great to have you here. And of course, if anyone knows him, then they'll know that he is one of the hugest, biggest pioneers in the catering industry, and he is here today to really devote his time. I mean, we all know that he devotes a lot of his time to the community and community involvement, and that we can see through Channel S. But today he's here to give some guidance to our participants. Is that correct? Was that a huge introduction?
Hopefully.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Right next to him, we have none other than Mr. Ian Dunn. Now, he's director and principal tutor of ID Development Training Limited. Not only that, but you're also a lead trainer in the restaurant industry, and of course, you're a visiting lecturer at University of Greenwich. And it's great to have you here because you work with the industry, and when it comes to training and telling them what it is that's missing in a business, you're the man to come to. So, I hope so, because you're going to be giving a lot of advice to our participants today, and of course our viewers that are watching. And last but not least, somebody very special to me, a very talented and humble man, Mr. Bajrul Rashid, MBE. Now, you know, he's known for his work that he's done as an ex-president of BCA. He's so passionate about the curry industry. He didn't stop there. He thought, right, I'm going to do something else. You know, this renowned British Bangladeshi restaurateur and businessman decided, right, I'm going to go and I'm going to become the president of UK BCCI, which is a huge success at the moment, and it's definitely venturing out to the younger audience and finding new talent. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure you have a lot to give as well, right?
Sure.
I'm sure you do. Now, today's episode is actually very interesting because it's all about healthy food options, something I definitely need to know about. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but it's definitely something I need to know. And when we think about healthy food options, we always think, is there enough in the Indian or Bangladeshi, let's say, Bangladeshi catering industry? Is there enough when we actually want a curry? Is there healthy options? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today and see how restaurants in the UK implement this and, of course, open to new concepts. So let's go take a look at today's topic, a bit more information.
Episode 3, Healthy Food Options and New Concepts. Embracing new concepts and menu innovation with healthy foods for the ever-changing, competitive consumers. With the food trends in the next 10 years, many health initiatives will come and go, but less processed and fresh food will be king. Nowadays, diners want to have some new and more healthy options. That trendy menus help attract new customers. But is that all? What makes you choose a restaurant? The food, obviously. But what about the location, seating, how far apart the tables are, service, the staff in general, the surroundings, the general ambience, and of course, the price? But what makes one better than the other? Do you follow recommendations or otherwise of food critics' reviews or food guides? What keeps us coming back to the restaurants we love? In some cases, it's exceptionally delicious food. In others, the lure isn't about the food at all. Your restaurant may have great tasting food, but if the atmosphere is bland and distasteful, it will overshadow the quality of the meal. On the flip side, a great restaurant atmosphere will make the fare taste better, keep your customers around longer, and ensure they'll return again and again. This isn't to say the food is not important. It is. The point is that we often forget how important the non-food elements of a restaurant are in making a good impression on diners. The typical restaurant customer today is not the same as the typical restaurant customer 20 years ago. They have higher expectations and pay more attention to everything.
There you have it. I hope our participants were watching that intensely, because you definitely need to take all of that into account. But not only that, we did say our panel judges hold 60% of the votes, which is quite a lot. but 40% is held by our special judges. Let's take a look at who we have today. Now, first up is somebody who I absolutely love. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on live TV, but hey, doesn't matter. Hey, we can say it. I absolutely love her. She's a huge inspiration to me, but not just to me, but to British Bangladeshi women. And she's known for her background in medicine, for the work that she does within the community. You know, you're a face of Channel S, actually, a face of our community. You would have heard her in Dhaka Radio, Bangladesh, television. You would have seen her on in Bangladesh, BBC World Service, Bangla TV, and of course, Channel S. And she's here today as one of our special judges. And I'm sure you have a lot to teach them. And actually, I've tasted your food, which is absolutely on point. So we definitely need her here. Next up, we have, of course, Wasim Sherwani. Now, he's the Director of Training at Welcome Skills, who won the National Katie Awards for Education and Training in 2017, which is huge. So we've got two very talented trainers here today, where I think our participants really need to make the most of it and take on all the information that they can. And right next to you, we have Sudha Saha, who's a talented and creative consultant chef. Now, you've worked on many huge restaurants, and it's great to have you here. But that's not it. You've also been judging Blue Arrow National Chef in 2013, 14, and 15. Can I carry on with the list? Just a few more. Let's do it. Let's try and do this really quickly because the list is huge at the moment. You've judged on cookery programs for BritAsia TV, Disaster Chef at CBBC. That must have been horrible. Poor kids. Were you judging kids? That's awful. Featured in Iron Chef at Channel 4 in 2010 and in Britain's Best Dish, and you've also been at the Chefs at ITV1 in 2011. Whew, that's a lot of chef programs that you've done. And of course, now you can add Channel S to the list. Judging here. But thank you so much for joining us. So I'm sure you have a lot to contribute today and to really add to it. Thank you so much. And right next to you, we have Shah Hussain, who's an award-winning chef entrepreneur. Now, you've got over 30 years of experience in the hospitality sector. And of course, again, we need all the training we can get and share the information. So it's great to have you on and for you to share all the information possible today. So thank you very much for joining. Last but not least, now these guys are faces that we've seen on our television screen because they've been around. I'll actually start firstly with Ruhul Shamsuddin, who is the executive member of Catering Circle. You've got many restaurants, businesses. So when it comes to this industry, you're the man that people need to come to, right? So thank you very much. Well, I should hope so. Please don't say think so. I should hope so. And right next to you, we have none other than, now, can I say this actually, on live television? He was one of my favorite participants. I'm not even kidding. Was he not everyone's favorite? You're so animated. You're so full of energy. You are basically Catering Circle is what we look for. So just to let you know that he is also a treasurer of BBCA. He was one of the finalists of Restaurant Star Show Awards in 2018, and he was the winner of Catering Circle Season 2 Restaurant Talent Show Awards 2017. And of course, you're the owner of Bayleaf. And not only that, these two guys are our mentors for our participants. Can we give them a huge round of applause, please? So thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure everyone's wondering, Nadia, we now want to see the main people that are participating. Well, without any further ado, let's take a look at our contestants. There you have it. We have some apologies, as I mentioned earlier on, that we do usually have 8 restaurants participating. Unfortunately, today we have 5. There's apologies from Indian Ocean Restaurant, Ruby Restaurant, and Ruchi Restaurant. So huge apologies from them, and they couldn't participate. However, let me just tell you how it works. There's 3 rounds. Usually 2 get eliminated per round, but this time we will be eliminating 1 person per round. So let's move on to round 1. So this is all about your success stories and where they have to focus on healthy food options and actually new concepts that they've implemented in their restaurant. That's what this round is all about. So we have our first participant right here, very young, very fresh-faced and ready to take on the Catering Circle and this award show. So let's go straight to him. From Sitar Tandoori in Brighton, we have Joynal Abdin. Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. Can I just ask how old you are? Am I allowed
I'm
to?
actually 19.
Oh, you're so cute. I thought you were 19. I was like, you look super young. But this is amazing. It's amazing that you're here. It's amazing that younger generations are taking such pride and joy in what our forefathers had started. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so you know how this works. If you watch the show, you have 120 seconds, which is 2 minutes, to talk about your success stories around, please keep in mind, healthy food options and how you're implementing new concepts.
All right, well, I want to start with, my age has been highlighted. I'm 19, quite a young entrepreneur into the restaurant business, takeaway business itself. I live in Brighton. I haven't been there my whole life. I was born and bred in London, but obviously I've moved around a bit, gone up north, Manchester, Newcastle, them areas. So I've got quite a broad, culinary experience within all of, with food, where it tastes different up and down the country. So, my business is a takeaway itself, quite fresh. It's quite an old business, but it's been revitalised, picked up from the ground and rejuvenated almost, made into something that will, appeal to someone like myself. Because as we know, Brighton is a very heavy student population, and that place is full of life. Nightlife is heavy. So, I want to promote those sort of customers to come to me, because that's what the whole city is based on.
You have 60 seconds, so let's talk about your healthy food options.
That's fine. So the healthy food at the place is, we've worked on food trends and stuff. So health is a very big macronutrients, nutrients itself, breaking down the calories and everything. So we want to promote that as the main thing. So it's highlighted all over the menu. We've got calories on there. We've got allergens and stuff on there so people can avoid it. And we've also got organic and fresh written all over it. So, and the vibrancy of the menu itself is colourful, green, bright, so that everyone comes along with it and they get the message across. I've also worked on I've mentioned organic. That's quite a big one, especially in Brighton itself. Very green, city, works wonders at that place when they hear stuff like that, and they're that's what they want, and they'll pay extra for it, which works wonders for me as well, because it lifts up the business as well.
And do you have any new concepts that you've implemented?
New concepts, I've worked on eco-friendly deliveries, because when they see eco-friendly, the whole basis of it, so I want to push that eco-delivery as another revenue stream, so that they come to us. No one else has got it in Brighton. They all go straight for the eco bikes, no fuel, all electricity, and it pushes that avenue so that people broaden themselves, and that's what they're after. So they know what they're looking for when they order from us.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank
worries.
you. Thank you. Well done. Let's give you a round of applause. We're going to now move on to our next participant. Thank you so much. I'm going to move on to our next participant from Pink Peppers in London. It's Shamsul Hussain.
Hi there.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, it's not London, it's Kent.
Oh, sorry, from Kent. We've got London here, but we shall change that to Kent
Almost
right
Kent.
now. Kent,
That's fine.
Excellent. And how are you feeling? How have you prepared for today?
Last minute replacement, I think.
Doesn't matter.
Well.
I'm sure you'll be just fine. I'm sure you'll be perfect.
That's fine.
So I'll tell you what, as I mentioned, 120 second, it's all about healthy food options. All right,
basically,
time starts now.
We started this healthy food option about a year ago. We've cut down on instead of giving hundreds of choices on the menu, we've cut down on the number of dishes to make it easier for the chefs to cook. We've introduced vegan dishes on more or less every main dish. So customers have got a choice of vegetarian dishes as well, which is more healthier than lamb or chicken. And then we've gone almost 0% fat because what we do, we boil meat, chicken, everything before we cook. And even the cooking, the pre-cooking, just a tiny amount of oil. We try and find alternatives, depending on the item we're cooking, alternatives and way of cooking it, basically. Some things are slow cooked, just to get it cooked. Instead of putting a lot of oil and cooking it, you slow cook it with less oil, and it cooks same result in the end. We've also, on our menu, we've got a specific section which says healthy eating options, which is basically grilled fish, wraps. So it's only about 6-7 dishes, but it's really popular with the customers, especially the ladies. They want, healthy. they care about their diet. So that's the extras. Other things we've done is like, instead of when customers ask, like they don't want it oil-free or healthy, we put, instead of normal vegetable oil, we give them choice of olive oil, which is another option the customers get. Organic, we try and source all our, like chickens are all locally sourced. The vegetables, we get as much as we can from the local farms, and the rest are delivered.
Excellent. You've got 7 seconds. I'll let you wrap it up.
Yeah, no, that's about it, I think.
Excellent. Well, well done. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Now, next up, it's from Mahdi Lounge, and hopefully I've got the right area. I've got East Sussex here.
That's correct.
Yeah, hey, we've got Abdul Momet Chakaria right here. So thank you for joining us, and are you all prepped?
Feel confident.
You're looking the part. You look very sharp, brother. So that's a good point. It's 120 seconds. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, first of all. Just like to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to come here today and participate in this competition. I'm going to start off by talking about my success stories and where I began. I started at the age of 14, working alongside with my dad just to see how the business operates and seeing what he does and following his footsteps. He is my idol. And moving on from just going into the industry and looking at what he does, I was still studying at school and college. Alhamdulillah, I'm a graduate in international business. I graduated from the University of Kent 3 years ago. I do support local charities around my area in Rye and East Sussex. I sponsor the Rye Cricket Club. I like to help my town create and develop and build stronger relationships. Now, Mahdi Spice is my first restaurant, or our family's first restaurant. It's been established for the last 17 years. And last year, we just opened Mahdi Lounge. The difference between the two restaurants is that one now focusing more on the takeaway and delivery, as well as dining in, but the Mahdi Lounge now focusing more on fine dining. So the reason why we decided to do this is so we can attack two sides of the market. We segmented it. One chef focusing more on the takeaway side, and the other chef focusing more on the dining in side.
You've got a minute, so do you want to talk about the healthy options?
Moving on to healthy food options, on my menu we do have vegan options, we've got grill options and salad options. Just so we're all aware that vegan is when a consumer abstains themselves from eating a product that has anything to do with an animal. In terms of salad options, now something that I've recently come across is a dish that I've started with basic seasonal salad. It's a locally produced salad, and I've just put a light salad dressing with chopped chicken tikka, and this is proven to be very popular during my lunchtime trade. Just to end my first round, just to clarify also that both of my restaurants, I do have a 5-star food hygiene rating. And how I've accomplished this is by having a management meeting with all my members of staff. We do run through the kitchen and look at the cleanliness and how food is prepared.
I'm going to let you finish this.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Now, next up is from Saffron Spice in London. We have Milad Ahmed. And again, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Let's go. You have 120 seconds, sir.
First of all, thank you to Catering Circle, and thank you all judges for giving me opportunity to tell my success story. Our main concern providing quality food and quality service each and individual customer. For example, we always plan and consider new healthy dishes. For example, vegetable dishes, fish dishes. Instead of using vegetable oil, we're using olive oil is less requirement, customer requirement. We also consider filtering factor and health eating trends. We always try to balance with a variety of ingredients, for example, color, texture, portion, presentation, and price, etc. We also engage our customer to make sure, always engage with our customer to make our service exceptional and satisfactory level. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else you want to add
No.
about healthy options?
Recently, we launched our healthy option. For example, significant dishes. For example, is a chicken tikka with mixed salad, variety of salad, and fish. As example of salmon fish is like oven. We cook oven, and also sea bass as well is grill. We cook in grill sea bass fish.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much for that. Next up from Spice Zone in Leeds. Wow, you've come all the way from Leeds today. We have, is it Jober Ahmed?
Sorry, Jaber Ahmed.
There we are, Jaber Ahmed. Thank you so much for joining us today, all the way from Leeds. And are you ready? I bet you were like literally just practicing what to say whilst you were driving here for 5 hours.
Yeah, actually 7 hours.
So, okay, well, 7 hours, but that's nothing. 2 more hours. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And again, it's all about healthy options. You have 120 seconds. Please concentrate more on around the healthy options that you have. 120 seconds starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Syed Jaber Ahmed from Leeds. I own Spice Zone Indian restaurant. I would like to share my success story with everyone in my own language. Is it okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Because আমি 7 বছর আগে স্টার্ট করেছিলাম মাশাআল্লাহ এখন লাস্ট ইয়ার 2018 আমরা ইয়র্কশায়ার ইভিনিং একটা এই পুটাপুটি হয় এগুলোর মাধ্যমে আমরা ইয়র্কশায়ার ইভিনিংয়ের মধ্যে ফার্স্ট হয়েছি লিডস তো যেটা আপনি আজকে যে প্রোগ্রামের উপরে যোগ করছেন আমি আমার ব্যক্তিগত পক্ষ থেকে আমার স্টাফের পক্ষ থেকে এবং লিডসবাসীর পক্ষ থেকে আপনারা ধন্যবাদ জানালাম আজকে যে ক্যাটারিংয়ের যে দুর্দশার মধ্যে আপনারা একটা প্রোগ্রাম কইরা সবরে গেট টুগেদার করতে চাইরা এটা লাগে আপনারা স্পেশালি ধন্যবাদ যারা আছেন এবং যারা এখানে বিভিন্ন স্টাফ বেস যারা বাইরে নকল কেন বসে আছেন প্রথমত ধন্যবাদ আপনাদের সেকেন্ডলি লাগে আসলে যেটা কইছেন হেলথি অপশন আসলে মোস্ট পপুলার এভরিওয়্যার নাও আমরা বা ইভেন 5 জনের মধ্যে আমরা এক বই না তারা অলওয়েজ ড্রাই ফ্রুট খাইতে চায় অলওয়েজ সালাদ খাইতে চায় তা আমিও চিন্তা করি যে অবভিয়াসলি আমরা কাস্টমারের তোলা চাইরা তারা লাগে কিছু করা লাগে আমরা গ্রিল লাগাইছি ফিশের তান্দুরি ফিশ করি স্পেশালি কইরা উইদাউট লেস অয়েল আগে যেটা করা হয়েছে আমরা দেখাইছি রেস্টুরেন্টও নানের মাঝে অলওয়েজ বাটার দেওয়া হইতো এখন স্পেশালি গোতে নান থেকে টোটালি বাটার তুলিছি কাস্টমারে প্রায় কমপ্লেন নানের মাঝে কমপ্লেন নাই বাটার দিবার সময় তারা কইবা নানের মাঝে বাটার থাকতো না এখন দেখা যায় মোস্ট অফ মাইন্সে বাটার বালা ফাইন না ঘি যেটা বালা ফাইন না আমরা বাটার তুলিছি এখন নান যে ডিমান্ডর নান চান না পেশোয়ারে নান হোকা গার্লিক নান হোকা বেশ করে গার্লিক দিয়ে আমরা নান বানাই দিই কাস্টমার হ্যাপি এখন হেলথি অপশন যেটা আমরা মেনুর মাঝে লাস্ট 6 মান্থ আগে আমরা মেনুরে আপডেট করছি হেলথি অপশন দিছি বড় করি ফলে আমরা একটা বেসিক্যালি ডিশের উপরে হেলথি অপশন করছি পরে দেখছি আমরা যে না হেলথি অপশনের ডিমান্ডটা খুব বাড়ছে স্পেশালি মহিলা যারা তারা এখানে ইভিনিং জিমটিমও যান গালাপ করেন বিভিন্ন সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে আমরা অ্যাডভাইস করছি তারা আইয়ে খালি কইবে হেলথি অপশন কিতে আছে আমরা যেটা করছি পরে আস্থা মেনুরে মালালছি হেলথি অপশন খালি চিকেন টিক্কা মশলা আর বাটার যেগুলা কানি আছে ক্রিমি কানি আছে এগুলো বাদে সারার মেনু আমরা হেলথি অপশন সাথে সাথে আমরা শেফ যারা আছেন স্টাফ যারা আছেন তারা লইয়া মিটিং করছি বইছি
I'm going to let you finish quickly.
এখন আমরা যেটা করলাম কাস্টমারে যখন হন আমরা ট্রাই করি আমরা সাইড থেকে যত কম সম্ভব অয়েল ইউজ করে তারা খানি পৌঁছে দেওয়া
Thank you so much. I'm going to try and translate that to the best of my ability. So the brother's been in the industry for 7 years. In the Yorkshire evening talent show that they had, he became first. All the customers demanded grilled food, healthy options. So he literally changed his entire menu into a healthy option where he now grills all his fish, his tandooris, even naan. If you want a Peshwari naan, instead of using butter, he'll use lots of other things. And if you want a garlic naan, instead of using anything, he'll use a lot of garlic to make up instead of having the butter. And he's just got a big, huge selection of big, healthy options. I think my Siliti understanding was pretty good. I think I should get a round of applause for that.
Yeah, you do.
Thank you. Now it's just tura matikram. So soon. I'll get there soon, hopefully. All right, that's it really. That was the end of our round one, which was absolutely amazing, and well done to every participant that took part today. And honestly, I wish you the best of luck. I think you all had something to say, and definitely healthy option is something that is growing and something that we definitely would like everyone to go into. Now, we will obviously lose one participant, but that will be after our judges have actually decided to judge who their favourite is. So I'm sure you guys can start getting judging right now. And whilst you guys judge, I would like to now speak to... Actually, I'll start with the panellists first. I'll start here whilst we wait for our special judges to judge away. So I'll start with Ahmadu Samad Chowdhury. Now, how did you find that? I mean, I think they really did go into the healthy options.
What can I say? I would say that I'm not very impressed. That doesn't mean that I'm discouraging them, but none of them were very specific about healthy food. They were talking about the healthy food in general.
Yeah.
So some of them had to be asked to talk about healthy food. They were spending time praising the initiative and so on. So end of the day, just one or two, I think, were answering the question. They had 120 minutes, but more than a minute went by just not talking about healthy food and the concept. So
you know what it is? I think they were just really happy to be here. I'm not going to stick up for them. I'm Nadia, so I like being nice, but I think they were starstruck by seeing you. Big celebrity in front. They didn't know what to do, so, they wanted to thank the judges. That's what it really was. Now, Ian, how about yourself? Because we have to go to a quick break, so if I could move on to you.
Ditto what you just said. It's very nerve-wracking to stand up there, perhaps for the first time. Presentation overall came across quite nicely, emphasising on vegans, diversity, using local products, which is very topical at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. And last but not least,
yes, I think they done not bad, quite well, because whole world is moving towards healthy food option.
Yeah.
And we are all caterers, we are all trying.
Yeah.
But we are not actually there yet. So those, the participant, whatever they say is they're trying, but in their mind is the healthy food option is there.
Yeah.
But if you take this healthy food option in curry-wise, it is a bit difficult, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Even a lot of people actually doing a healthy iftari these days. You know that Nadia, that iftari is not healthy at all, especially with our community, but now is doing healthy. It is possible, but they have to say research in details.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And I know our panel judges and our special judges have a lot to say, and I'm sorry I'm having to rush you because there is a quick break now, and straight after the break, we'll be finding out who's going to be leaving us and which four will be making it on to round two. Let's take a quick break. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Restaurant Talent Show 2019. We are on season 4 right now. I do actually have the results in front of me, but before we go on to the results, I want to quickly speak to our special judges right here. Now, I hope my special judge has a mic, because I'm going to go straight to our first special judge, who was Dr. Zaki Rizwana Anwar. Now, I'd like to ask you, you being a doctor, healthy eating is probably the most important thing in your life. How did you feel they participated? Do you feel they missed out on anything?
I'm quite glad that they mentioned, one of them mentioned about micronutrient and macronutrient. I think there are two misconceptions, I think, which should be addressed in this platform. One is we have a general perception that fat is bad. Not all the fat are bad. We need fat in our body, but we need to have good fat, like the fat which has got more omega-3, not more omega-6. We need more omega-3. Because someone said that they use tiny bit of oil. So as I said, that all fats are not bad. We need to know good fat. We need to know the difference between good fat and bad fat. And someone else said that he uses extra virgin olive oil. I would like to know when he uses extra virgin, because when you cook in a high temperature or medium, moderately high temperature, you need to use the cooking oil which has got high smoke point. For example, avocado oil, coconut oil, mustard oil, ghee, even ghee, but not butter. Butter has got low smoke point. And the extra virgin olive oil and flaxseed oil, these two oils you need to save for salad dressing and dip. So you need to know when you use which oils. It's not always the extra virgin oil is the best.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. That was actually one of my questions, because I was wondering when they were saying about the oils, because it constantly changes.
Yeah.
You know, 1 minute on the news you'll hear vegetable oil is the best.
Yeah.
Then it changes to, you know,
it's
to
mainly when to use
oil.
what.
Yeah. Okay. It's just keeping in mind.
I mean, extra virgin olive oil is not good for when you cook for high temperature.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for filling us in on that. This is why we get a doctor on, basically, so you get some free medical advice right here on Channel S. Now we, of course, have Sudha Saha. Now, I'm going to ask you something totally different, because next round, the second round, is all about marketing and how branding is so important in this industry. So, participants, if I were you, I'd be listening right now. So what tips would you like to give them?
Well, it's very important to understand the branding, because from a kitchen point of view, you can make a fantastic dish, outstanding. You sit down, have some blue sky ideas, brainstorming session, come out with some dishes. But how to implement that is sometimes important to know the balance between the business and your passion.
Yeah.
That a lot of chefs don't understand, and that's why they lose out. Now, the key point is when you come out with some signature or innovative dish, is the menu knowledge from the front of house staff, which is the key factor to promote.
Yeah.
See, for example, for any ethnic restaurants, people don't want to go out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Then how are you going to sell it?
And of course, because it's on healthy dishes.
And this healthy dishes.
Yeah, how do they promote that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that has to be something which it catches.
Yeah.
And if it works in the right directions, then it's 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
And that's what the branding goes. Sometimes I cook a fantastic dish in my kitchen, but I don't know how to sell it.
Yeah.
I score 0.
Yeah.
So branding is very important, and especially nowadays, social media is so strong.
Absolutely.
Just do something and put in Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely.
And put in the Facebook. So many people watch it, and that gives more of information.
Absolutely.
You don't need to spend a single penny from your pocket.
Nope. Thank you so much. Well, some don't, but thank you so much for that. Now, I do have the results in front of me. We will be losing one person, as I mentioned earlier on. Instead of 8, we have 5 restaurants participating, and out of the 5, we will be losing 1 in the second round, so we will be taking on 4 to round 2. Now, the results are here, which I'm super excited about, and it's about to come up on your screen right now. And in first place, we have Mahdi Lounge with 76%. Let's give him a huge round of applause, please. And then in second place, we have, with 68%, Sitar Tandoori. With 62%, we have Pink Peppers. And with 56%, we have Spice Zone. And unfortunately, we are saying goodbye to Milad Ahmed from Saffron Spice, who scored 44%. You weren't too behind, but with 44%. I'm really sorry, but well done for participating and for coming this far. But thank you so much for coming here. And of course, well done to the rest of the participants. So I guess now it's time for round 2. Have it. Round 2 is all about marketing, and of course, who best to ask for advice than our mentors? So we're going to come straight to our mentors. I can see Fossil going, hey, you know, just directing his participants right there. Now, firstly, sorry, because Ruhul, you've just lost Milad Ahmed. He was your... So how does that feel? Where's your... There you are. There's your mic. Let's find your mic.
I think it's important to touch on, as the doctor said earlier on, about oil and when to. We're going to refer to her as doctor.
Yeah.
About when to use the oil, we have to be a bit brave about exploring different health dishes. So last year was big about jackfruit burger, pulled jackfruit burger. You can switch that into a vegan option. So things like that. I mean, hopefully he will take back some options and he's got some time to reflect on. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Now, your star, you've got all of them through, but Mahdi Lounge, number one.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Well, it feels great, really. We want to keep it up on the next round. That's the most important
What tip would you like to give them?
Well, look, they all done well. First time on that camera is a daunting task. I've been there, you know it. But they done well. We have some young entrepreneurs here. We've listened to them. They were talking about calories on the menu, organic, eco-friendly delivery. That's interesting things that we're learning and we're sharing throughout the nation, where people will pick up and they will think about it and implement it. Now, marketing is a massive thing, really. Like one of the special judges says, you can make the best dish in the world, but how do you market that? And that's where the interesting round is coming.
Absolutely.
So I can't wait to hear what they've got to say.
Well, I actually cannot wait either. And this is where they really get to talk about just about how they brand themselves with regards to their healthy food options and if they have new concepts. Now, I do have our first participant coming on. So if I could please have from Sitat and Dori, if I could please have Joinal Abdin back on. Thank you so much for joining us. And just to give you a bit of tip, you have 60 seconds in this round, which isn't a lot. So don't worry about thanking us. Just go straight into it. And here, what I want you to talk about is the popularity of new items that you have on your menu, about healthy options and how you market that.
Okay.
How do you market that? How do you brand that? Obviously, the use of your social media, etc., and technologies, and I'm sure you know what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
So without any further ado, your 60 seconds starts now.
All right. So first of all, I want to start with healthy eating is a big thing, especially with millenniums these days. They want to go straight for the good bodies, especially now it's summer as well. Everyone's trying to cut down weight. Look good in their swimsuits and whatnot. You know how it is. Yeah. So I want to make sure that the environment around me as well. Like as soon as you enter the takeaway, you look at it and you're like, okay, clean, modern, right? That's what the sort of food I'm getting served as well. You know what I mean? That's the sort of stuff that I want to project onto it. I also got Royal Mail, gone traditional as well. 100,000 menus splashed all around Brighton, so everyone gets at least 2 menus through their door. Yeah, so constantly being refreshed and knowing that it's coming in through their door. That's an option for them to go to. I've also looked at Facebook, Instagram, very big platforms, both owned by Facebook as well. So that platform itself is expanding with millennials again. But older people are using it as well to promote their businesses. So special promotions, exclusive offers, directed to just those that follow and keep up to date with that sort of thing, so that we stay on the top.
Excellent. I'm going to let you finish on one last thing.
All right, that's calm. So, you got local businesses. That's a big one. If you're working with another local business, getting that organic, fresh food in as well. If you're working with them, they're promoting you and you're promoting them. So it works hand in hand. Word to mouth spreads.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very, very much. Now, next up from Pink Peppers in Kent, I've said this time.
Yes.
Could I please have Samshul Hussain on? And again, same for you. You have 60 seconds, brother, just to talk about branding and marketing. Your time starts now.
Thank you very much. Firstly and foremost, starts with the menu. On the menu, center of our menu, we've got a small section, healthy eating options, and it's highlighted in green and yellow, so people can see straight away as soon as they open up a menu. We distribute menu. We've got Royal Mail doing it once or twice a year. The other ways we marketing as well. Initially, when we started it, during the week, we were doing it for half price. We put messages out to customers saying our healthy eating options are half price, try it. They've taken the offer. During the weekend, when it's busier, we've actually managed to give them out free as well to certain customers to try and people to order, just to try them out. People are reluctant to try something new. If you give them free, they'll try it. If they like it, they'll come back again and order it. Social media, very important. Every time you see a picture on our Facebook or Instagram, we always try and take the healthier ones from the healthy options and put them on there. People phone up and say, "Oh, can I have that dish on your Facebook?"
I will let you finish off your last sentence.
And we also participating in like going around local schools and doing training sessions with the kids about healthy eating Indian options as well, and trying to teach them how to cook healthy.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That's
you.
very interesting to know. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now, next up from Mahdi Lounge in East Essex, if I could please have Abdul Mubit Jakaria back on. Again, 60 seconds. Just take it away. Talk about your branding and your marketing with healthy options.
Thank you.
Your time starts now.
Thank you. So in regards to marketing and branding and how I've implemented it into my business, not like every other restaurateur where they've used Instagram, social media platforms. Yes, I have all that, but I want to go the extra mile. I want to go into my town, my local village, and sample my own product, which is called Mahdi Shabli Special. It's a mixed vegetable dish with light spices. And what this particular dish is, it's a vegan-friendly dish. Now, when I was sampling this to the public, the response levels that I got back were very positive. They wanted to see more of it. So what I did was I put it onto the menu with new dishes into my new business, which is Mahdi Lounge, which we opened last year, as I mentioned previously. And it's shown to be phenomenal. The response levels on the dishes, complemented them with plain rice and chapati. It really has shown a difference. I would like to briefly touch on the market advantages that we have in rye. Is that going back in 2002, when we first started, we were the newbies in the market.
I'm going to let you finish this, yeah?
Thank you. And just want to say that we are now the sort of last man standing with a takeaway restaurant and a fine dining restaurant. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Now, last but not least, from Spice Zone in Leeds, we have Jabir Ahmed back on. Welcome, Bhaiya. এখানে আমরা কথা বলছি about marketing, branding. So, আপনি আপনার healthy options কিভাবে marketing করেন এবং brandingটা করেন?
ধন্যবাদ। আসলে
60 seconds এখন শুরু হচ্ছে।
ওকে, যে বিষয়টা হইছে আসলে মার্কেটিং একটা কস্টিং এর বিষয় আছে। আমরা যে ব্যবসা করি, ব্যবসা থেকে সাথে সাথে মার্কেটিং চালাইয়া দেওয়া ভেরি হার্ড হয় স্মল ব্যবসা যারা আমরা আছে। তো আমরা যেটা করি এটলিস্ট ওয়ান্স এ মান্থ একবার যারা হোমলেস পিপল থাকেন আমরা লিড সিটি সেন্টারও আমরা তারা হট ফুড খানি মিনিমাম 100 পিপলরে খানি দেওয়াই। সেকেন্ড থিং হইল আমরা লোকাল চ্যারিটিও গল আছে তারারে আমরা 3 মান্থ পরে তারা স্পন্সর করি ইকো চ্যারিটি দিয়ে এখানে ইউনাইতে যা টেকিং হয় আমরা মোস্ট অফ তারারে দেলাই কিছু আমরা খালি কষ্ট রাখিয়া আর তো সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া আছে ফেসবুক আছে আমরা এভরি মাসে একটা কুইজ দেই কুইজের মাধ্যমে মানুষকে এগুলো ফ্রি যেটা কম কষ্টে সবার কাছে পৌঁছাইয়া দেওয়া যায় যে আমরা হেলথি অপশন করি আমরা ও কাজগুলো করলাম আর একটা আছে আমরা ওয়ান্স এ ইয়ার করি যেটা আমরা লোকাল আন্ডার 9 আন্ডার 11 যারা এই কিডস সকল আছেন স্পন্সর করি তারা এই আপনার ফুটবল ক্লাবও আমরা জার্সি এভরি ইয়ারে কি আমরা 3 মাইলের ভিতরে এরিয়ার ভিতরে বেশ কয়েকটা ক্লাব আছে তারা আমরা স্পন্সর করি Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That was bang on point with your timing. Now, I'm going to try and wrap that up in English now, but thank you very much. Now, once a month, he does try through his restaurant to give food. Well, he does actually, not even try. He does give food to the homeless shelter, hot food served, healthy hot food served to the homeless charity. He does a lot of charity work. They also do a quiz on Facebook and social media about healthy food options, and then at the end of the month whoever wins that quiz will get a free dining opportunity at his restaurant. He also does under 9s to 11s jersey sponsor who play football, so again he's involved with the local community and it's all just about healthy options for him. So thank you very much. I hope I did that well. If I missed anything, please let me know so I can reiterate that. Excellent. Thank you so much. Now, that was our last person on. Now, again, everyone watching at home, you can also send us your messages. All you've got to do is you've got the details below, of course. You've got the email address. You've got everything you need. But you can also follow us at Catering Circle on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and send us your messages, what you think is missing, or if you want to congratulate the winners, you can do that. Now, whilst our judges start to actually put the results on and mark and choose their favourite, I'm going to move on to our panel judges first. I'm going to start here with Mr. Badrul Rashid, MBE, and ask you, what did you think this time? Do you think marketing and branding, they did it correctly?
Well, they're doing it correctly, but this should be broader, because whenever you launch any new product in the market, so it has to be very much marketed properly.
Yeah.
And restaurant, our industry actually in this country, they do a lot of good restaurant, open a restaurant, but they don't have the marketing budget. They always doesn't keep enough in the side.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned that actually. So I think they have to keep the marketing budget, and they have to promote the healthy food option vigorously with all this marketing possible in the industry.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. Now, Ian, marketing, how important is it? I mean, you train a lot with the restaurant industry. Is marketing and branding something that comes up for you?
It's very important. It's knowing where to go with it.
Actually, what he was just saying, yeah.
Yeah, they use diverse methods there. But the thing I'd be concerned about is what the first person said about giving out leaflets to the community. What are those leaflets made of?
That was Jonah,
It's
yeah.
very topical at the moment.
Okay.
Is it recyclable?
Yeah, of course. So if it's environmentally friendly,
yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And of course, I'm going to come to the man himself. Now, you were not impressed the first round.
But this time it's better.
Oh, okay. I'm really happy with that. I'm really, really happy with
more
that.
Impressed now.
You are one very difficult man to impress, honestly.
Yeah. So they were talking about marketing and branding.
Yeah.
They were concentrating on that. And I'm quite impressed. And it is very difficult to give marks to, one more than the other. It's more or less equal when you go for giving them marks,
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Now, I mean, what do you think is missing? I mean, obviously, we're going to lose one person in this round, and we are only going to take two into the business conference. I mean, what are they missing out on? What kind of information do you really want them to talk about?
I think, next round, of course, they will be talking about healthy food options and new concepts, yeah? Next round. And this time, about marketing, as my colleague said about, like leafleting, what do you use? And also, I think they were, although they are small businesses, they were concentrating with just the local community. But I think if they just expand the areas, it will be beneficial for them.
Absolutely. Now, Ian, I'm going to come to you and ask you actually, because it's quite important that, I mean, obviously our British diners, we love our greasy food. After a night out, you want to go and you want to have a kebab, greasy kebab. But we're trying to go into the healthy options. Now, how can restaurants actually portray that through their marketing and branding?
That's a good question. I thought it was just actually moving away from the traditional greasy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's touched over there the different oils that could be actually very healthy. Not to actually move away too much from oils, because we do need oils.
Yeah.
It's just having that balance.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just finding that right balance, isn't it? I'm going to come to our special judges, and if I could come to Wasim Sharwani first, please, and ask you, I mean, you are also a trainer, you're in this industry. Again, I mean, for marketing and branding, is there a need for training, do you think?
A lot of restaurateurs do no training in branding, no training in marketing.
And how important is it?
They learn off the hoof, often copying other restaurants and other takeaways. So there's very little knowledge and depth of knowledge in this particular field.
Absolutely. And if I could ask Sudha Saha, please, how do you think, I mean, there's always new trends with food. There's always, right now, it's all about healthy options. It's about the vegan option. It's about organic food, which I'm trying, by the way, all the time now. So it's really, really important. But how do we implement that to the restaurants? And how do the restaurants then implement that to their clients, to their diners?
Is the knowledge about the food, which the staff need to know. Because like one thing we are missing out also the local and seasonal produce, which we don't use more of the Indian restaurants.
Yeah.
We don't say it, sustainable products.
Yeah.
because if you use these things, then obviously it's all the healthy options come side by side. Yeah. Now, for example, like you have a octopus starting, you got a game season. Why don't you put something in the menu which got the venison?
If I could ask you just to put the mic closer.
Why don't you put something like a venison or a nice rabbit in the menu?
Yeah, and actually, I'm going to touch on something else, and I'm going to ask Zaki Rizwan Anima about this. Now, you spoke about the oils, which was really important, but also stuff like turmeric, holud, and all the spices that we cook with, the Indian spices. I mean, some of them have really good. They have some good nutrients that could actually help us. How do we promote that? How do you think we can promote that?
I think marketing strategy should depend on your who your target customers are.
Mm-hmm.
If you are close next to a uni, I mean that's a different strategy. If your restaurant is in Devon, then it's going to be a different strategy. I mean, if you're in uni, you can go on the orientation week in the first week.
But do you think it would be quite nice to have maybe the spices that we use, but to have like a leaflet or something to say these are the spices we're using?
That is the point. I mean, when there's an open day or something, when you have lots of uni students. But in case of what I'm saying, the Devon, so it should vary. It's not something like it's one strategy that will fit into every population. That I think you need to know your customer. You need to know your target customer. That is very important. And having good reviews is, I think, to me, is very important. Whenever I go, I always read the reviews. Without reading reviews, I don't go to any restaurants.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Wasim wanted to say something.
I just wanted to say that the most important person is the customer. And customers are conscious of what they eat, where they eat. They're very concerned about their health due to media issues. So they're worried about whether the food is sourced, sustainable, organic and valued.
Yeah.
For example, there are now 3.5 million vegans in this country.
Did you just Google that while I was talking
No, I
to you?
didn't.
Okay, just checking.
But the other thing I was going to say to you was some of the professionals in this country are doing a lot of training on diets and nutrients. And the good doctor will know this. So, for example, my business has recently been involved in arranging degrees and programs for doctors. Junior doctors are now compulsory required to do culinary medicine courses at universities. So if the doctors are being trained in medicine that affects food, just think how far behind we are.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Thank you so much. I'm going to actually ask Shah Hussain a quick question. So if I could please ask you something about, you've been in this industry for a very long time, and you've got over 30 years of experience in hospitality. So how important is it to make sure that design of the food, of the dishes, of the restaurant is important in marketing and branding?
Well, I think the most important thing is having a bit of passion. See, a lot of us, if you look at when I started, we wanted to do well for ourselves and move forward to a higher job. But now, if you look at it, the trend is going away as well, because the young generation don't want to do the pressure job as well. If you look at it, not only you have to make the organic, make it look good, but it's a lot of pressure job as well. And we're finding it difficult as well to sustain everything where we're not getting enough training as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So if we would have got some help even from the government to help us, that would have helped a lot of chefs as well to sustain their qualities and qualifications as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much for that information. I'm now going to move on to the results of round 2. But thank you very much. That was a lot of information from our special judges and, of course, our panel judges, who we're very lucky to have. And just to remind you again, our panel judges hold 60% of the votes today, and our special judges hold 40%. So a lot, actually. So that's a lot of responsibility on their hands. Now, I'm going to move on to our votes for round 2, and as I mentioned earlier on, we're going to be losing one participant per round. So right now we're on 4, and we will only be taking 3 onto the next round, and the results are Going to come on your screens right now. There we are. In first place, we have Sitar Tandoori with 72%. Well done. And then we've got Spice Zone with 66% of the votes. And we have Madhi Lounge actually just behind with 2 points less with 64% of the points and votes, and last but not least, who we are losing today is Pink Peppers with 56% of the votes, unfortunately, and we are having to say goodbye to Samshul Hussain from Kent, unfortunately, so I'm really, really sorry, but congratulations once again to everyone that has made it through to round 3. Now I'm going to come. Should I go to Rahul first? I'm sorry. You know, you've just lost your
again.
Yeah, and this was the last participant for you, right?
I mean, I know he's got quite a few establishments.
Yeah.
He's doing quite well. But there's certain things that he has to be current with the market about being organic and his local produce that he's doing.
Yeah.
He's promoting that quite well and he's doing the launches. So I think just keep on going. Yeah. That's fine.
Absolutely. Congratulations, sir. You just like having that winning title, don't you?
Who doesn't? Tell me.
You just don't want to get rid of it. So you've got your 3 boys, your 3 restaurants that are now competing. So 2 of them will obviously make it. Are we allowed to ask who the favourite is? Oh, the panel judges are looking at me and saying, Nadia, don't be naughty.
No. They're all my favourite, and that would be depending on the judges, how they vote. But yeah, they're young, talented, smart boys in the block, and they are really sharing their knowledge and the way they're doing things. I mean, it was interesting to see Zakaria saying, sampling the dish in the town. That's a brave thing to do.
Yeah.
I remember Gordon Ramsay used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he revives the American TV shows, he used to go and do that. So he must have got that tip from him. I bet you any money. So that's a good way to market your product. You're going direct to the people for feedback. These are the sort of things, that brave things we need to do and move on. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for that, for your tips. And again, congratulations. You've got 3 of your mentees making it through to the next round. Now, it is time for a break, but don't you worry, we'll be back with round 3, and it's all things about cost savings and increasing your revenue. So participants, please start revising now, start Googling, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back straight after a quick break. And welcome back. Gosh, I didn't think it was going to come back that soon, and I was like, have I done the results? I was totally wondering, but yes, of course we have. We've lost Pink Peppers, unfortunately, and now we're moving on to round 3 with 3 of the participants, and this is all about cost saving and increasing revenue with healthy options and how they actually do it in their business. So let's move on to round 3. So we have Sitar Tandoori here, and here it's all about focusing on your cost savings and, of course, how you can increase your revenue. So how do you make that money? And please obviously specify around healthy options, because that's what we're focusing on today.
That's fine.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Joinal, your time starts now. You have 60 seconds.
All right. Well, first and foremost, we got portion sizing. Now, everyone, if there's a bigger plate, you're going to eat more on it. So smaller containers, smaller portions, strict portions where everything is level and equal with every portion, so everyone gets the same amount. So, you know, you're not getting one where it's got like 5 potatoes and one with 4 potatoes, so you're getting less carbs. Yeah. We've got, we've got custom dishes, premium dishes where the buyer can choose, the customer can choose what they want in their dishes, more personalised to themselves, so they can choose what they want in there.
Excellent.
So therefore, it doesn't affect me. They pay a more upmarket price, but they also get, sales. I get more money for it, and they get what they want, more personalised, custom to them, which lacks in the market these days. We've got the EPOS system. makes it more efficient for everyone else. That means less staff, saving money on that front as well. One printer in the back, one printer at the front. So, it's no error for mistakes. That's the biggest one. If there's a mistake, that costs me money.
Excellent.
I can't have that.
I'm going to let you finish off on one more point.
Okay, and we've got charities as well, mosque charities, funding a mosque. Like, as a Bengali male, religion is quite a big thing. Islam is a big thing. So, that I want to push, like, charity is quite big. So if my face is towards that charity, then people are going to come here and they're going to spend more money here and they're going to want to be part of something more bigger, and especially with things around Islam as well these days and the news and that, they want to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
there you have it. That was Jonal Abdin. And of course, charities we love to support. It doesn't matter the religion, doesn't matter where they're from, but it's just about helping and doing the right thing in humanity. So thank you for picking on that. Now, next up, sorry, I was going to say last. God, what's happening to me today? Next up, we have Marty Lounge from East Sussex. We have Abdul Mamet Jakaria. Again, you have 60 seconds to talk to me about cost savings and increasing your revenue, but within healthy options. Absolutely. Your time starts now.
Thank you. So in terms of cost saving and revenue increase and how I implement this into my businesses, whether it's my food, my wine, my grocery supplier, I always have two. Reason being, I can compare the prices on a weekly basis and then find the best value for money on the goods. I've also got the mindset of that I need to ensure that every product that I deliver has a 30% of being the cost of goods and a 70% being the profit margin. Thirdly, I've introduced an EPOS system into Marty Lounge. Reason being, it creates efficiency, it requires less staff, and therefore it's a way of my revenue increase. I also go into the kitchen during the opening hours in the morning, working alongside with the chefs. It's very vital that the chefs cook fresh and in small amounts. Reason being, we want to be able to provide fresh food and it needs to be sold by the evening. If you're doing mass production, you're setting yourselves up to fail, and this is something that we don't want to be doing in the near future. I'm going to let you stop.
Oh, finished?
That's it.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent. Well done. That was bang on point. Thank you so much. Well done. Last but not least, from Spice Zone, all the way from Leeds, we have Jabir Ahmed. Jabir Ahmed, well done, congratulations. And same thing again, আপনাকে আমি জিজ্ঞেস করছি যে cost savings এবং revenue increase আপনি কিভাবে করেন, কিন্তু healthy optionের মাধ্যমে, and আপনি creativity কিভাবে আপনার business-এ use করেন.
Okay.
60 seconds. Time starts.
First of তিনটা পার্টে আমি যেটা কইতাম স্যার আপনারা, আমরা মোস্ট অফ বিজনেসও সাপ্লায়ার ইউজ করি, যেমন যারা ডেলিভারি দেন ফুড, সব জাতি ভেজিটেবল, তো এগুলোতে একটু কস্ট বেশি হয়ে যায়, তারা মার্কেটের প্রাইস হইয়া দেন, কিন্তু আসলে দেখা যায় বিলো গিয়ে মার্কেট প্রাইস নাই। আমি যেটা করি আমার বেলায়, আমি অলওয়েজ নিজে শপিং করি, এভরিডে 1 hour টাইম রাখি আমার রেস্টুরেন্টও লাগি, আমি 1 ঘন্টার ভিতরে বিভিন্ন শপিংও জায়গা দেখি, এবং ফ্রেশ জিনিসগুলো নিজে গিয়ে শপিং করলে ফ্রেশ জিনিসগুলো সবসময় আনা যায়। আর সাপ্লায়ার যে সময় দেন তারা, আমি কোনো সাপ্লায়ার কেউ হইনা তখন তাদের ছোটো করার লাগে করাম না, ব্যবসাতে এফেক্ট করার লাগে করাম না। আমি ট্রু যেটা, তারা সবসময় ভেজিটেবলগুলা মানে যেগুলো নষ্ট হইবার উপযোগী ওগুলো আগে ডেলিভারি ছাড়েন, মানে আমরা ওগুলো পাই এবং কুইক ওগুলো নষ্ট হয়, যার কারণে আমি নিজেকে শপিং করি, অলওয়েজ ফ্রেশ ভেজিটেবল আনি। সেকেন্ড থিং হইল চিকেনের যে বিষয়টা, আজকাল কস্ট যেটা সেভ করার কথা আপনারা কয়রা, কিচেনের 4 জন স্টাফজন থাকেন, 5 জন স্টাফ থাকেন, তারার উপরে যখন আপনি আরও প্রেশার ফেলান, তাহলে খামও স্লো ডাউন হয়, ব্যবসাত আপ করা যায় না। যার কারণে আমি কিতা করি, আমি চিকেন মিট এভরিথিং সব থেকে তোরা এক্সট্রা বলুন দেওয়া খাটাইয়া আনিলে জিনিসগুলা, যেখানে আইয়া আনলে এরা প্রেশার কমে যায় খামর, যাতে এরা আমরা ব্যবসাত আমার টাইম দিতে পারেন।
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। সরি, এখানে স্টপ করতে হচ্ছে। আর একটা কোনো পয়েন্ট বলবেন নাকি? দ্যাটস ইট।
আর ওটাই আমার কথা।
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That was Jabir Ahmed, and again, just going to wrap up what he just said, that he finds it really important that he does his own shopping for his restaurant, as he feels that if he does get it from outside, sometimes it may vary in the quality and of course the portions that come through. He prefers going out himself, shopping around for fresh food and bringing the best only for his restaurant. So thank you very much. I'm going to ask all three to please come back on stage, because this is where our judges get to really grill you and get to ask you any questions that they feel that you missed out on and they really want to ask you. So I'm going to, you can come, you can all, yeah, there you are. Get comfortable. So this is where the judges will ask you a question that they feel they really need clarification on. So judges, please ask per participant a question.
You have mentioned about the percentage of the gross profit margin, yes, but how do you work out how much you are going to charge a dish on the menu, and what is your gross profit margin?
That question is for Abdul. For Abdul, yeah.
No, here.
No? Oh, for Jabir?
Jabir,
Okay,
yeah.
Jabir, that question is for you. So, আপনি যদি
gross profit margin কিলা ওয়ার্কআউট করো প্লাস মেনুর যে প্রাইস দেওয়া হয় একটা কিলা ওয়ার্কআউট করো।
আচ্ছা, মেনুর যে প্রাইসের বিষয়টা করা আমরা আসলে বিভিন্ন টাউনের বিভিন্ন মেনুর প্রাইস আমি যেন থাকছি আমার তিন মেনুর ভিতরে যে রেস্টুরেন্টগুলো আছে মোটামুটি কম্পেয়ার করে প্রাইসটা দেওয়া লাগে ব্যবসা মানে টিক্কা থাকতে হইলে ফার্স্ট অফ থিং।
ওকে,
সো তুমি কম্পেয়ার করো অন্যান্যরা কিতা চার্জ করে ওটার উপরে বেস করিয়া
প্রথম যে সময় আমি রেস্টুরেন্ট খুঁজি ওগুলাই করছিলাম, বাদের সময় আমার কাস্টমার হয়ে গেছে কি আমি আপ করি এভরি ইয়ার মিনিমাম 20p পার কারি।
বাট হাউ ডু ইউ ওয়ার্ক ইট আউট কিলা ওয়ার্ক আউট করো
প্রফিটের যে বিষয়টা
নো প্রাইসিং এর বিষয়টা
হাউ ডু অ্যানালাইসিস
হইলে আমার হইলে আমি যে সময় মেনুকে বাড়াইবার লেগে যাই আমি খুব মার্কেট কস্টের উপরে আমার যে উইকলি একটা কস্ট আছে
কিলা ওয়ার্ক আউট করো।
আমরা তো রেস্টুরেন্ট যারা ব্যবসা করি এভরি উইক একটা বিজনেস হয়ে
প্রফিট মার্জিন গ্রস প্রফিট মার্জিন কতর উপরে বেস করি প্রাইস করো?
About 50-60%.
50-60%.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
50-60%
about 30 seconds
ব্যবসা সার্ভাইভ করা যায় না।
Okay, but you can.
75% minimum.
There you have it. There's a little tip for you. This is why we have him on the show. I'm going to come to Ian. Ian, do you have a question for one of the participants?
Hamid, when you go to suppliers.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
To Jabir, yeah?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
My Punjabi's not.
Bengali.
Yeah. It's all Bengali, yeah.
Or Punjabi, whatever you want to talk is fine.
Okay.
So what would you like to ask Jabir?
How often do you see the suppliers, and are they working with you, or are they just viewing you as a customer?
So আপনি supplier কে কত মানে দেখা হয় নাকি আর কতবার দেখা হয় সপ্তাহে নাকি আপনার পাশাপাশি কাজ করে?
নরমালি অলওয়েজ এভরি উইক তো যখন ডেলিভারি আনতাম এভরি উইক দেখা হইতো। তখন আমি যখন আদার শপে যাইতাম দেখতাম যে প্রাইসটা হে যে প্রথম স্টার্ট করছিল অলমোস্ট তো সেম প্রাইস হই রাখছে, কিন্তু অথচ দেখা যায় মার্কেটের প্রাইস অনেক ডাউন হইছে। তখন আমি যখন ফোন করে কই আজকেও প্রাইসটা আরো ডাউন, তখন হে তো ওই সময় আমারে কই আচ্ছা আমি সরি করলাম আমার কাস্টমার হিসেবে ঠিক রাখার লাগে।
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. So he does have weekly conversations with his suppliers and is one of nearly every other day, and he always calls them up and asks for the best prices. If he feels that the market value is slightly high, he'll call them up and say sort me out, and they usually sort him out. Yeah, excellent. Mr. Bajir Rashid.
So my question goes to Abdul Mumid from the Mahdi Lounge. So how do you stop wastage? Because in our industry, wastage control is very important. Because we are buying all this chicken, meat, vegetable, all these things we need to sell in the restaurant. Keep them in the right order and not to waste so much. So what is your plan on that?
In my opinion, the way I look into it is that I go into the kitchen myself, I work along with the chefs, ensuring that they aren't wasting or using anything extra when it's not necessary. I'll give you a small example. Even if it's like fresh cauliflower, you know the stem that you can have, you can use that stem rather than throwing it away into a salad. That would be my personal example of how we save our vegetables and put it into more use rather than wasting it.
Thank you very much. I'm now going to move on. Thank you so much. I hope that answers your question.
I think, Joynal, nobody asked him any question.
We've got our special judges. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. See, our special judges, our panel judges love you. They want everyone to have an opportunity. But we do have our special judges as well. So I'm going to, something that Mr. Rashid picked up on, and it was really good, was just about waste and how important that is. So I'm going to ask somebody to expand on that.
Well, in terms of controlling waste, one important thing you missed out. When he said you have the store, you got a larder, you got your cold room, or your dry stores. you have to monitor that. First in, first out, FIFO. That's very important. So you have to check the dates of the products which is on the shelf. The one which is old has to be used. So what happens if you don't use it? If you put the new one in front, so you're using the one. So end of the day, if someday the health and safety people come and they see this, hang on, this item is there which is out of date, so you'll be in trouble. And this is prime concern.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Did you ask a question to somebody?
Joanna, could you just tell me, in terms of doing pricing the menu,
okay.
Healthy GP is say 70, 75, good enough. Yeah.
Okay.
So what are the elements you look into?
What other elements? Right, so, local competition. Brighton is not short of Indian takeaways or restaurants. There's plenty of them. So everyone offers their own personal, touch and twist, which then they can, a restaurant can charge more than a takeaway. So you've got to factor in the fact that, if they're just a sit-down restaurant, they're going to charge more. Their drink prices are going to be more. But they might have lower things that are, easy to produce in mass, and they can sell. So the way I do this is I personally look at the local competition, see what caters to what almost I'm doing, similar to mine. And then, 2 doors away from mine is another Indian takeaway. So that's my direct competition right there.
Excellent.
So I've got to look at that and, look at what I can do with my pricing to get those customers come to me. Because they've got loyalty. Customers have got loyalty, yeah? They're going to go straight.
Otherwise, we'll carry on forever. But I know you have a lot to say, but you've definitely made your point. So thank you very much. I hope he's answered your question. I'm going to now move on to Wasim Sharwani.
Yes, I wanted to just pick up on a point Nadia made about waste. Now, often I go to many restaurants. I must have visited at least 5,000 in this country.
Only?
And I can say that there is always a very large delivery on Thursday, so that they have delivery of meat and chicken for the weekend. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And most of the restaurants and takeaways are very small. They have small kitchens and they have very little storage. So do you have that type of problem, Joynal, when it comes to dealing with waste?
Personally, no, because what I do is I have a weekly rotary of shopping. So it comes in weekly. But then there's some things that don't come in weekly. So vegetables and stuff, that's almost every 2 to 3 days. So I've got supplies, because I'm working with the local businesses and stuff, they can hold the stock, they can give me the freshest stuff, and I can go pick it up. I drive, my parents drive, anyone can go get it, but they can also deliver as well. But obviously if they deliver, then I have to work with their times. So by making that sacrifice of me going to them personally, works on that relationship, and then I also get to choose what I get. So I can control the stock.
Thank you very much.
Could I ask one more question, please?
You're being very naughty.
Sorry, I'm being naughty. With regard to Jabbar Ahmed, I'm sorry, I don't speak Bengali.
No, that's fine.
Then you can't ask a question, that's it. Sorry, let's move on. I'm joking.
Jabbar, you do your own shopping. Now, you are a leader, a manager, a boss. So how much time do you spend on shopping when you've got marketing, branding, VAT, rates, customer service, salaries? What about all that? How do you deal with it?
Because এখন যে সময় স্টাফ ফর ক্রাইসিস প্লাস স্টাফ ফর ওয়েজেস যে আগে রেগুলার যে ওয়েজেস আছে এখান থেকে আরো অনেক আপ হয়েছে ওয়েজেস ঠিক আপনি এইগুলা সেভ করতে হইলে এখন অবভিয়াসলি ব্যবসা আপনি রান করবা আর কোনো উপরে ডিপেন্ড করে ব্যবসা হইতো না আপনি মোস্ট অফ কাজ আপনি নিচে করতে হইবা আপনার তো কোনো বেতন নাই আপনি বেতন না পাইলেও অসুবিধা নাই পাইলেও তো বেশি পাইবা কিন্তু আপনি কাম করতে হইবা এখন ওগুলাদের মেন্টালিটি সবলের সিস্টেম করতে পারেন ক্রাইসিস যেটা আছে ক্রাইসিস থেকে অনেকটা শান্তি পাওয়া যাইব
Thank you very much. So he's just said that it's important. Of course, that's quite important. But nowadays, with the staff crisis, he feels that he needs to take ownership and do some of that work. Him as a manager, if he doesn't get paid, it's not a big deal. As long as his business is running and he's able to give that customer service, that is what is important. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm going to move.
I'm make it short and sweet.
Go ahead. That's fine.
That's fine. To cheer them well done for what they've been doing.
Yeah. Can I ask you to hold mine? Yeah.
Being a chef and working in the trade for a long time, I don't think you could ever stop the wastage. So the best advice for them is buy cheaper, and that's the way you're going to save. Yeah. There's no other way. Because remember, you're going to have hundreds of waste on especially vegetable. There's no chance you're going to save any. So just buy cheaper, and that's the best way.
Do you have a question for them?
Pardon?
Do you have a question? That was it.
The question,
That was okay.
Obviously, everybody's trying to save, but
Yeah.
they ain't going to save. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just that they're going to buy it at a better price.
Okay. Does anybody want to respond to that?
Does that make sense?
Anyone can take this question. What's the direct question?
The direct question was, right, with wastage, we were talking about, see, meat, chicken, you can, but with vegetables, you can't stop the wastage because it's like my option. We throw hundreds worth of salads in the bin, even the customers we give, but they don't eat it, it comes back in the kitchen, we throw it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you deal with that?
How would you deal with it?
ভেজিটেবলের কথা আপনি যেটা কইছেন তান যেটা কইছেন আমরা ট্রাই করি বিকজ সাপ্লাইয়ার দিলে ওয়ান্স এ উইক ডেলিভারি দেন এর থেকে বেশি তারা দিন ডেলিভারি নিজে ভেজিটেবল কিনলে আপনি এভরি একদিন পরে পরে ভেজিটেবল কিনতে পারবা ফ্রেশ ভেজিটেবল মার্কেট থেকে ফ্রেশ দেখে মানে হলো আপনার উইকডেজ আছে আপনি টোটাল বক্স না আইন না কিকুম্বাদ কেলা আপনি সময় আনুকা আপনার আজকে দিনের বেশ
Brilliant.
ফ্রেশ খাবার যাব আর ফসার কোনো চিন্তা নাই
And again, for those that didn't understand, I think that was a very good point, actually. This is what Jabeir's been saying, that he goes and does his vegetable shopping every week so that he doesn't have that wastage, and he does actually buy fresh vegetables that he needs for the day, and, takes on to the next day, which you can obviously utilise. So thank you very much. That's really good. I actually have a quick question, if that's all right, before I come back. I have a question for Saha as well, actually. Quick question. You didn't talk about your unique selling points when talking about cost savings and talking about increasing your revenue. I mean, what is your unique selling point? What makes you so different to everybody else and that is making you increase your revenue? I'm actually going to ask Abdul to please answer that question. If I could ask you to just stand in front of the mic.
So my unique selling point would be I look at my staff members like they're my family. Reason being is that they're the key team players within my business, and if they're not happy, my customers won't be happy.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that. And I'd like to just throw out there a motto of mine, and it is that if you treat your staff like family, profits will automatically follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I totally agree with you. And of course, I mean, mentors that are here today, it's such a hard job being here and for them to answer these questions. But before I come to you, actually, sorry, I've just been told they want me to ask you both the same question. So, I'm a bit special. Sorry, judges. I get to ask them this question. So about your unique selling point, can I please ask you all to answer that question?
Okay. So unique selling point is, with the work environment, it's got to be professional, but it's also got to, what you project in that kitchen.
So
and
what
that
is
front.
your unique selling point? That is what I'm asking.
Okay, so, unique selling point is eco-friendly. Yeah? We're eco-friendly. That's the biggest thing. With Brighton being such a green place, that's what they want. I mean, the Green Party rules the council there.
And that's what makes it
so that's
different.
what makes it separate from everyone else. So that's what they want. That's what I provide.
And do you have any signature dishes that make you so different?
Of course. I mean, there's always like chef special dishes, and that's got its whole category. And that I mean, if I change the menu, most likely the reason the menu's been changed is because I've got a new chef.
Yeah.
So if the new chef comes in, he chooses the dishes. If he's from India, he's going to have Indian-based dishes. If he's from Bangladesh,
surely that must have an effect on your
not necessarily, because
customers.
with the ones that we know that are best selling, I mean, I'm quite young, so I'm good with like spreadsheets and Excel and all that. So I've got a database that shows me what's selling the most and what's not selling the most. Yeah. So if I've got something that's selling the most, I'm going to keep it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Ones that aren't selling most, I can get them replaced. If I take out 5 and put in 6 new ones, no one's going to realise the 5 lowest ones are being replaced.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And Jabri Bhai, same question for you. How আপনার রেস্টুরেন্টে আপনার ইউনিক সেলিং পয়েন্ট কি? আপনি কেন সবচেয়ে ভালো সবার চেয়ে?
আমি আসলে যে সময় মেনু করার 3 মাস আগ থাকি, মিনিমাম 3 মাস আগ থাকি এই ডিফারেন্ট ডিশ সকল যেগুলো আছে কিছু কাস্টমারে প্রমোট করি যে আমরা ডিশ লাগালাম মেনুর মাঝে। তখন দেখা যায় 10টা মানে 10টা ডিশ সিলেক্ট করি এবং শেফের লগে বই আইগু খিলাই আইগু কথা। আমার একটা ডিশ আছে, আমি গত বছর 2018 কারিগর অফ দ্য ইয়ার হয়েছি ইয়র্কশায়ার মাঝে। তো গুসখাটা মশলা আমরা যে বাংলাদেশ থেকে আইছি, বাংলাদেশের ঈদের পরে যে মাংসটা থাকে বৈশিষ্ট্য মাংস, এটা দেখা যায় ফানোভালা ইয়া একটু বাজ্য করলে এক্সট্রা একটা ফ্লেভার আয় মাংস থেকে বাড়ায়। তো ওটারে আমি কেটা ক্রিয়েট করছি রেস্টুরেন্টও করার পরে দেখা গেছে গুসখাটা মশলার নাম এটা লাম দিই, লামরে ফানোর মাঝে ফালাইয়া সেসা জিঞ্জার গার্লিক সবগুলো সব জাতীয় স্পাইস দেওয়া সিজলার মধ্যে সার্ভিস করলে কাস্টমার এগুলো পাইয়া মানে খুব কেটা তারা যে হয় তো ওটা আমি ক্রিয়েট করেছি ওগুলো আর কয়েকটা ডিশ আছে মানে পয়লা আমি তারা উইকেন্ড আইলে আমরা বোর্ড আছে একটা বোর্ডের মধ্যে লিখা দিই আজকে আমরা ডিশ কি লেখা আছে তারা খাইয়া তার উপরে বেশি মানে কাস্টমারের জবালায় ফিডব্যাক ওটাই আমরা মিল লাগাই
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I'm not going to go into detail with that, but I think you got the gist of it. He's very creative, always keeps an eye on the menu and sits with his chef and they decide together what is important and what isn't to help him have that uniqueness with his restaurant. I just had one question for Saha before I go to the results, and I'll come to the mentor, after the results. A quick question, because obviously being the Chef of the Year and all the other titles that you have, being a judge on all these talent shows, new concepts, how important is it to have new dishes, new concepts in a restaurant? I'm going to ask you to make it quite short and just give us some advice.
Well, it's very important because what she says, you got 10 restaurants who is supplying the same sort of food. So what stands out? Signature dishes. And how you promote your signature dishes is all your marketing, and your staff should have the menu knowledge. When you have the new dish in your menu, your signature dishes, which is the restaurant speciality, so he should promote the front of house, and that helps you to get the extra edge from other restaurants. And you should do signature dishes depending on the seasonal produce.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Actually, we're just waiting on a couple more results before I announce the winners. I'm going to actually ask, because we're coming towards the end of the show now, I'm going to ask our panel judges to just say a few words and tell us how their experience was here today, and maybe a few words of wisdom for our entrepreneurs that want to follow your footsteps. So I'll start with you, sir.
Okay, I think it was a good experience today because today's subject is healthy food, and healthy food is not everybody is not there properly studied properly yet. So with this everybody's comment, we found there are a lot more towards healthy food and cooking, and as Dr. Rezwana said, because Rajul Anwar said that about the cooking oil, that's all wrong concept, because you see virgin oil, if you once you put in the cooking, then spoil everything. Instead of healthy, it goes opposite. Absolutely. So I'm sure the doctor will be agreed. And she said very clearly, use it, but it's time, not with all the time.
Know which one you're
not
using
at the cooking time. So I think all these participants, they are very energetic. They tried hard. And I must say that our 19 years old is amazing. Absolutely. They're all amazing anyway, because he's 19. I'm praising.
We're going to give him a bit more love.
And he's always talking about eco-friendly. That's what everybody look for these days. And I think you are all doing fine. But study and research on more healthy food option, because that's what the today about.
Thank you so much. That's some very good advice there for you. Do note them down. That's from a very successful businessman. Ian, what would you like to say, your last words, final words on the show? On the show.
Okay. It's a busy market out there, and it's constantly changing. So it's about keeping the customer centre, but being basically receptive to what they need, which is change all the time, and then how to respond to that. But bear in mind, you also got a profit to make as well.
Thank you very much. And very quickly, if I could ask you.
I think, we covered most of the areas, but one thing remained weak, which is the pricing. It is very important that you should reflect your menu and make sure that at least around 75% gross profit margin is reflected. And I think you should avoid, copying what others are charging. You are your own businessman, you have your own identity, and you got to reflect that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I will come to the special judges in a bit, maybe just say thank you, but thank you anyway, because you really did grill them and ask them some great questions. I do actually have my results here. So I'm going to go straight on to the results, and announce the winners, and then we'll say our goodbyes, which I'm super excited about. All right, are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Sure? 100%?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Go for it.
All right, here we are. It's on the screen right now. In first place, we have Mahdi Lounge. Congratulations, Abdul. Absolutely well deserved. Well done. And in second place, we have Satat and Dori, Joinal Abdin. You made it through, so we're very happy to have such a young. You're probably the youngest, one of the youngest participants that we've had on Catering Circle. So congratulations and well done.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, Jabir Ahmed, we're having to say goodbye to you. Please don't cry back with your 7 hours journey. I'm really, really sorry, but it's great having you here, and when I come to Leeds, I'll definitely be there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, of course, as you know, we have to give a huge congratulations to our winners. Could you please ask Abdul to say a few words, being a winner? In front of the mic, please.
Honestly, I'm shocked. This is something that's...
Journal, don't go. We want you back.
This is something that I've never come on to do before, so it's my first time, and really, really, I'm proud of myself, and just want to thank you all for your time. It's an absolute honour to be here. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
There you are. And Journal, you were running off. Are you scared? You're getting scared at the end of the show.
Yeah, it's just part to bunk, innit? Yeah, no, thank you for the experience. I've never actually been on live TV or anything like that before. I've not really experienced much life. I mean, you've all owned restaurants longer than I've been alive. So, you know.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So for
if you said that before, I think you would have deducted some points there, sir.
That's why I left it till the end. Yeah, no, so, you know, getting all this experience is, like, invaluable, you know.
Well, you were brilliant, honestly, and well done, and we're very, very proud of you. And like I said, you're probably one of the youngest participants that we've had. I'm just going to get confirmation. I think you are the youngest participant that we've had on the show. So congratulations and well done. Just going to come to our mentor. Oh, look at that glow on his face.
Well, look, now, honestly, they all done well. Actually, it's an experience that you endure and enjoy it, and that's what you've done. That's what I told them earlier. You just come on the stage and speak as if you're speaking to your customers. We had some interesting points. One thing I want to touch, really.
Yeah.
Any business we do operate is for profit, end of the day. I mean, if the profit is not there, we cannot sustain, we cannot survive. So the percentage was a vital question by our MEB, JP. And I think that's where the participant who lost out from Leeds, Spice Zone, I think he lost a lot of mark on that. And another thing I want to say across the board is, sometimes less is more. Having less dishes on the menu is one thing I always wish to encourage, because you can sell fresh, you can see where the losses are, you can work out the margin, and so on. So sometimes less is more. Well done. Congratulations to the winners.
Thank you so much, and thank you to our special judges for coming here today and giving such great advice. So thank you very much, and once again, well done to everybody that participated, and of course, congratulations, huge congratulations to our winners today. So you have won a ticket to the business conference, and of course we will be back again on the 6th of August, and 6th of August is all about food safety and health safety issues here on the Catering Circle, obviously on the Talent Show 2019, where 8 restaurants will participate and only 2 will make it through. We're finding our 10 best restaurateurs and entrepreneurs who we want to take with us to the business conference in 2020. That's it from me. I'm Nadia Ali, your host for this wonderful show that I love doing every 2 weeks, and I will be back again on the 6th of August. Have a great evening. Thank you.